Well, wonderful viewers, welcome to another Live and Leash show. And we're absolutely delighted to be joined by Anne-Marie Allen here in the studio in Vision 85. Anne-Marie, how are you today?
I'm well, John. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me here to Vision 85.
You're very, very welcome. We're delighted to have you. It's amazing. I was talking about this before we came in about retirement. And you're a great example of retiring but not retiring, if you know what I mean. You're retired how long? Officially on paper, you're retired how long?
4 years on the 8th of March gone by. I'm retired from the public service. And they say when you retire that you follow your passions. And I think that's what I've done.
Yes, and absolutely. You're not only one passion, but two passions. Can you tell the viewers, firstly, how did you cope with official retirement, first of all?
How did I cope? That's a really good question. It was a bit of a shock, I suppose. A bit, when you finish work. I was in the public service for just under 30 years. And it was a little bit of a shock. But I had already decided that I was going to do something. What it was, I wasn't entirely sure. But then once I decided on what I was going to do, that helped me cope with the massive changes that occurred when I did retire. So what I did was I enrolled and I did a HDIP in executive coaching with the IMI, which is a faculty of UCC. So
very good.
Yeah. So
back to college.
Back to college. Yeah. So I didn't see retirement as as stopping, and that wasn't going to be the way I was going to do it. I was going to follow my passions, which was helping people in some shape or form. But I had to kind of decide what that was. So the very first thing I did was when I retired in March, and I signed up for a Start Your Own Business course with the Laois Enterprise Office here. I still hadn't, I knew it was kind of in the career type of thing, but not entirely sure. But that helped me focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I had already signed up for the IMI, and so it kind of gradually unfolded as time went by. Yeah.
And so, is it fair to say now, with your current business, AMA Coaching, that it's only a continuation of what you were doing in your so-called full-time pensionable job, helping people improve themselves, set goals, present themselves well, and go up the so-called corporate ladder?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I was in training and development with the public service for 8 years at 3 different grades. And, there I kind of really enjoyed coaching people and mentoring people to do well in their jobs, to apply for promotion and all that. But I had also gone on my own journey of going for jobs and failing, and I eventually sought feedback. I remember in 2004 I had gone for an interview and I had only scraped through, but I remember getting feedback from one of the interviewers, and he just said, you need interview preparation, you need to become focused, and you're strong here but you were weak here. So I had gone on my own journey, and then I remember going for help and going to this girl in Cork, and she really highlighted what I was good at and then what I needed to work on. Not my flaws, but what I needed to work on. So then when I then went into training and development, I was able to, I suppose, apply what I had learned myself and help other people as well, informally.
Yes.
Informally. Kind of start off, one person said, would you help this person? And then it kind of built up over time. So then when I retired, I knew it was in that field I was going to go into. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's a passion of yours, isn't it?
Absolutely, 100%. Everybody has huge potential within themselves. Everybody, if you coach people and mentor people, hopefully they can, achieve great things in their lives and, their goals and dreams and so on. Yeah.
Absolutely. And have you come across organizations where every employee's potential is highlighted and encouraged and helped along the way, or is that type of organization still a rare beast out there?
I'd say that type of coaching and mentoring is increasing. Definitely, there's an awareness there. Rather than providing people with training, there might be you do have to train. We'll say health and safety, statutory training, but that coaching and mentoring is increasingly becoming a part of the workforce, especially with American companies.
Yes.
So that is increasing. It's not a rare beast, as you say, but it is increasing. We've gone past that point, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
And is it because now, I'm just looking at the economy and the jobs market, is it a case now the worker holds the whip hand? Basically, it could be back in the golden era of the Celtic Tiger. You can walk out of one job on a Friday evening and walk into a different job on a Monday morning. Is that feeding into it?
That's the workforce at the moment, for sure. If you stay with the company, I suppose you do get access to mentoring and coaching and training and stuff. But if you're going to keep, you might lose that level of support. But yes, it's like the economy; it's circular, and at the moment, it's the employees' market.
Yeah, they're calling the shots.
They're calling the shots at the moment. And a few years ago, people couldn't get work. And it'll happen again.
Oh,
that's just the way it's going.
I think we've experienced a few of those little blips down through the decades.
Yeah, somebody I rarely quote, but he did say that Mr. Charles J. Haughey did say at one point that people of our generation would have to change career at least twice in their lifetime.
Yes, and I think now it's probably double that or even more.
Yeah, but now rather than having to, you have the choice.
You have the choice.
That's the difference.
Yes. And people probably want to change.
Yes.
After a certain number of years as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Now, your AMA coaching business, people can find it on Facebook under Interview Coaching Laois.
Well, I suppose interview coaching is just one of the services that I provide. I set up a business, AMA Coaching Solutions, and I provide, a suite of coaching services. So executive coaching for people that are in leadership positions, and life coaching. And then there's executive life coaching. There would be life change coaching. There'd be pre-retirement coaching, which would be one-to-one coaching for people. Put the finance aside, but coping with life change. And I've been there, bought the T-shirt.
Yes.
And then there'll be interview coaching, which I suppose I'm more known for. But any type of coaching, really.
Yeah, and that step from, we'll say, the full-time pensionable job to retirement is a huge jump. It's a chasm, really. The public sector, I'm thinking in terms of the public sector, are there courses out there within departments that actually prepare people?
Yeah, there are. There's the public service provides excellent pre-retirement courses, but a lot of it is focused on finance, and there is a bit of it on life change. But some people have come to me for that life change coaching. What will I do now? They're retiring young, and people are living longer, and retirements are longer now.
Yes.
So what will I do now? So they come to me and we look at their successes in their career. Look what what are their passions in life and what they want to do now, and follow your passions, and that's it. And you can work your own hours, and you have the choice. And if you don't like it, you can get up and go. That's.
So you're basically helping people focus, set basically targets, set goals, present themselves maybe better.
Yes,
more clearly.
I've gone shopping with people for outfits.
Very good.
Yeah,
very
for
good.
Suits and for outfits for their interviews and stuff like that. Yeah. Or I've checked them on Zoom just before they go into their interview. If it's a Zoom interview, do I look okay? Is the background okay? All that kind of thing. Yeah.
That's a wonderful service.
Absolutely,
that's a wonderful service.
It's a pleasure to do it, John.
Absolutely. Well, it is your passion at the end of the day. Yeah. But do you find that people going for, you're preparing people going for a face-to-face interview in a different way to people preparing for a Zoom interview? Are there little tricks of the trade that are slightly different for both?
Well, Yeah, well, there is. I would say take the same approach, but just I suppose the difference would be that if you're doing a Zoom interview, that that the background is tidy.
Yes.
Um,
And do we need a bookcase in the background?
yeah.
But the viewers will be ringing in.
If you have a bookcase, make sure it's tidy.
Yes.
That kind of thing. Just that the light is right.
Yes.
Close the curtains or turn on a light or something like that. And sometimes, if I was coaching somebody the other day and they had white hair against a white wall and they were wearing a white shirt, and I said, look, you need to, get a different colour shirt and a different colour tie.
Yes.
Yeah, and do something, something like that.
Because you were disappearing into the background.
You're disappearing into the background, yeah. And I would say, as well, when you're getting ready for a Zoom interview, just a little trick that one of my clients used to get them into the frame of mind, because they were doing it in their home, was that, when the time of the interview started, that they walked out their back door.
Yes.
Went around the side of the house and came in the front door. So just get them into that frame of mind that they were going into an interview.
That's very good.
Yeah, they came up with that themselves, but, it was just how do you get into the frame of mind? Because normally you get into a car, you drive to the venue, you park the car, you sit outside and you read your notes. So this person just, I thought it was a great trick, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great little trick. And as for the interview, I mean, is there a question that always seems to crop up and really snag the interviewee and catch him out?
Well, if you're not prepared, and you can prepare for the general questions. If you're prepared, you can cope with any question.
Yes.
And there will be the odd question, but that might be, might come from nowhere. But generally speaking, interview boards are trained. They receive training. They have to sign off on a code of ethics on an interview panel and stuff like that. And there's a code of behaviour and conduct that they have to adhere to. So those awkward questions shouldn't really come up, or hypothetical situations shouldn't really come up. But so there's common interview questions that if you prepare properly, you should be able for them.
Yeah. So basically, there's no excuse. Prepare. Yeah.
Fail to prepare to fail.
Exactly.
Simple as that, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that sounds like something Roy Keane would come out with. But it's so true.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you have to prepare, yeah. And everyone there's a lot of people putting a lot of effort into preparing for interviews now, and competition can be stiff out there, even for entry level into the civil service or Garda Síochána or whatever,
Yeah. And do you find there's a different type of candidate coming through for the guards or for the prison service and the civil service in general?
Well, I suppose we've definitely got more from nationals, people from other countries applying.
Yes.
And that would have been something that we wouldn't have seen maybe 20 years ago. But I think it's a welcome development and brings great new perspective and all that into all of these organisations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, it's not my concern about the civil service and the public sector, but I would prefer, not that I would prefer, but I would always think that basically people are better off after college or after secondary school going off and doing something totally different. If they have the itch for the public sector, maybe go out into, some people would say, the real world, the private sector, and do whatever, and then come back to the public sector. Do you find that people are going straight from school or college and going for the interview and getting it, and maybe they haven't experienced other sectors, other jobs?
No, actually, I'm kind of finding the opposite, that people are coming to me and they've got a breadth of experience across.
Yes.
And I'm getting people of all ages coming for interview preparation that have, especially women that are returning to the workplace after maybe minding their children for 10 years and so on. I'm not finding people going, I certainly haven't come across it. People are coming to me because they've had all this different experience and they don't know how to frame it for an interview.
Yes.
So we'll say one girl came to me and she had been working, minding children. She had left secondary school and then had, for a number of years, I think 5 or 6 years, working for a family, minding 4 children. And she was going for a job as a receptionist in a solicitor's office. And she didn't know how to, so she thought it was impossible. I was only minding children. I was saying, well, there was time management, there was negotiation,
Yes.
there was teamwork,
Negotiation skills, yes.
There was organisation,
Yes.
there was communication. You had all of the skills.
Plus bribery. Being very good. Every parent watching now will be going, yes, yeah, been there. Bought the T-shirt.
So we just changed around her answers, for the competencies required for the job.
Yes.
And she had an example, and she got the job.
Of course.
She got the job.
Thanks to yourself.
Yeah, and she did the preparation.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah, she had a focus. She wanted to get it.
Yeah, it wasn't me got the job for her.
Yes.
She got the job herself.
But you helped her along the way.
I did help her along the way. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
There's things that you do. Researching the company.
Yes.
Is and not just not kind of browsing over it. Really doing a forensic examination of the company that you're going for. You need to know the history. You need to know the latest strategic plan.
Yes.
You need to know their vision, their purpose. An achievement that they had. Obviously something positive.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And that kind of, and then preparing your own. You see, competency-based interviews are very popular at the moment, and they're based on the idea that your future work behaviour is assessed by your past work behaviour.
Yes.
So the examples you bring to the interview, they assess those answers and mark them accordingly then.
Okay. Okay. Now you have another string to your bow, Anne-Marie. You have another passion. And it's similar. I'm thinking about this now. It's very similar to AMA Coaching Solutions. You are helping run Unislim Mountmellick.
Yes.
How did you get involved in that? And the viewers are going, John, how does she get the time? Where do you get the time, Anne-Marie?
Well, I do. I just do. I suppose when you're passionate about something, you find the time. They always say, ask a busy person to do something if you need something done. So yes, I've always been interested in my own health and wellness, and I did have some health issues a few years ago, so I kind of needed to get better. So one day I was in the car and I was listening to an interview on the business, and it was Fiona Grazia from Unislim.
Yes.
Unislim. And Unislim is an Irish-owned company. That was the first thing that caught my attention. But she talked about Unislim's approach to weight loss being it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, it's a life choice, and it's about balance in everything. So other slimming companies might just focus on food.
Yes.
Unislim focuses on food, obviously,
Yes.
balanced approach to food, sleep, water
Yes.
intake, movement, not exercise, movement and water intake.
Yes.
And so if you can get all of those right, you can lose weight. So I researched Unislim, and then I went there as a client. And then I asked if there was a gap here in Laois, and yes, there was. There was a gap. There was no club in Mountmellick. So I then started off in the middle of the pandemic over in Mountmellick. So I've been running since last August 2021, and it's tipping away lovely. Got some great members and great successes, and yeah, it's fantastic. Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me in the least.
Yeah.
Because you're passionate about helping people.
Absolutely.
That's the common denominator.
That's
with
the common
Anne-Marie.
denominator, and it's coaching in another. You're just
Yes.
it's the subject is slightly different. It's health and wellness that you're coaching people, and
Yeah.
there's a weekly talk at 9:00 every Thursday morning. I run from 7:30 until 9:30, and 6 until 7 in the Macro Hall in Mountmellick. Yeah, and it's great. And you get to meet some great characters, and we have some great fun and great successes. And it's just, when people hop off the scales and they've reached their weight loss target,
Yes.
there's nothing more, it's
It's
great.
empowering, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic. The hall is full of cheers, and
Yeah.
it's great. And it's a great company. There's Unislim in Portlaoise as well. Breda McCann runs that.
That's correct.
There's Port Arlington, Laura, and Laura then in Mountrath. So there's 4 of us in Laois, yeah.
So there's a nice little network there.
A nice little network, yeah, 100%.
That's brilliant. And you're working together.
Well, we support each other.
Yes.
We support each other,
Yes.
but it's my, it's a franchise.
Yes.
So I am the owner of Unislim Mountmellick.
Okay, that's marvellous. Again, the viewers are going, where does she find the time, John? Where does she find the time?
Yeah, well, I do. When you're passionate about it, yeah, it's great. So so then I work then with I work with SuperValue in Mountmellick as well. Buy their produce there and maybe cook some of the dishes with some of the foods from SuperValue in Mountmellick. And then Landis in Mountmellick as well is great.
Yes.
A great supporter of Unislim Mountmellick.
Oh, that's Watchhorns, isn't it?
Watchhorns, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and then Dowling's Butchers as well. Yeah. And of course Macra, Mountmellick Macra are great.
Brilliant.
For lending me the
So it's just wonderful. It's local supporting locals.
150%. It has to be that way.
It has to be that way.
It has to be that way. My
Yes.
signage as well comes from Macra Print, just around the corner. Or no, it's
That's
down,
right.
down.
Well, it's
Just down there a
absolutely.
bit, yeah.
It is just around the corner.
So it's very important to support local.
Yeah.
100%, yeah. It's a great county.
It's a great county.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a county, yeah.
And that's just marvellous. And so for future plans, when you do have a chance to sit back and set your own goals, you're very good helping other people set their goals and achieve their targets. The next 5 years, what do you hope to achieve?
Oh God, 5 years, John. I have my business plan done just for 2022. So,
very good.
Yeah, is really to kind of work on Unislim Mountmellick and really kind of embed it into the community and help people achieve their weight loss goals. And then with my with AMA Coaching Solutions is to continue with my coaching as it is and enjoy it and help people, reach their career goals.
Yes.
And I think that's it really at the moment. I'm not so sure if I can squeeze in anything else, but just keep going at it. I've set it. AMA Coaching Solutions is running 4 years in June. And Unislim Mountmellick is running since August. So just watch them grow, all going well. Yeah.
Marvellous. And for our viewers now they're itching now to email you, message you, PM you, DM you.
Right.
How do they get in touch?
Okay, so can I give out my phone number, John?
Of course you can.
Okay, thanks very much, John. My phone number is 087 981 5144, and of course my name is Anne-Marie Allen, and my email is info@amacoachingsolutions.com. So that's for coaching.
So, and by the miracle of technology, that's up on the screen
Already.
as we speak.
Really, and then for Unislim Mountmellick, obviously go on to the Unislim I'm on Facebook and Instagram for Unislim Mountmellick. You can PM me there, and you can also go on to the www.unislim.com. They have my details there as well. And then, of course, I have my website, amacoachingsolutions.com, and I have my interview coaching leash and life coaching leash on Facebook. So there's a few different strands there as well.
Absolutely, and so there's no excuse for the viewers.
All right, okay, great. Yeah.
If they want to set health goals, they want to change career, life goals.
I do the whole lot, yeah. I'll even go shopping with you.
Well, that's an incredible service.
Yeah.
You bowled me over when you said that.
Oh yeah, I enjoy that particular part.
Yeah.
So that's your social media to keep on top of, I can tell you.
It is. Social media is a beast, but you have to be consistent about it.
Yeah.
And Anne-Marie, it's just brilliant to have you today.
All right, thank you.
Continued success. You're fired by your passion.
Yeah.
You're in the right field, helping people, and I have to say you're looking great as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks a million, Jan. Thank you to Vision 85.
Vision 85 to Eamon,
Yes.
our wonderful manager here in the hub, and of course to our wonderful producer Matt Kerry as well. We need to give him a shout out there.
Thanks, Matt.
In the corner there, and to our wonderful viewers wherever you are. Have a wonderful weekend, and stay tuned for the next Live and Leash show. Thank you. Bye.